FM KMOX.
We have 71 degrees in Florissant. It's 72 in St. Peter's and light rain 71 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends. Good to have you with us on a Friday. It's rainy, it's humid, it is warm, and we are going to keep you company for a little bit. It's the Chris and Amy Show, but no Amy today. John Hancock is here. Michael Kelly is here for a bit as well. 314-436-7900 is our number. You can leave voice messages on the Odyssey app. You can listen to the show there and the podcasts later. And Cardinals baseball scheduled for later on tonight. You can listen on that app. We got a 7:15 first pitch. Tell you about all of that coming up as the Cardinals play at home. And, of course, you can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, you know, one sinkhole is being filled. Well, there's a new one. We got a new sinkhole in St. Louis, and we couldn't be more excited.
You know, these things usually happen in threes, so there'll probably be another one today, maybe.
It probably opens up right underneath us.
The U.S. men suffered their first 2026 World Cup loss. They lost to Turkey last night, but it was a meaningless game.
That's right, it was. They move on to the knockout round. They're going to play on Wednesday. So the Cardinals got rained out last night. There was more rain in the area, but hoping to get it in tonight. That game, by the way, will be made up in July. But the series against the Marlins starts tonight.
The surprisingly good Marlins.
Yeah, and that's interesting, John. And we'll get into that a little bit later. And, of course, Gas House Gang will get into it as well.
You bet.
Major League Baseball and Gas House Gang is at 12. I got Claves and Matt Pauley with me. We'll talk to Bob Nightingale. Scott Spezio is going to be on the show.
Oh, fun.
So Major League Baseball put out a proposal, what they're calling a proposal for a new CBA. As everybody knows, there's a pending lockout that's probably coming at the end of this season and could disrupt a little bit of next year, if not all of it. And so they put out this proposal thing, and the Players Association responded with, that doesn't work for us. So that's already starting, and
right.
it's starting in public. But what's interesting about the Marlins is a lot of this is about payroll and what teams can spend, what they can't spend.
Yeah.
But the Marlins are playing pretty well. They got one of the lowest payrolls in baseball.
Well, as do the Cardinals.
Cardinals, too, and
as
Washington.
And the White Sox.
And the White Sox. So we're... Like, payroll's not everything. It's something, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But I can't stop thinking about this sinkhole.
Yeah.
I got two things. First of all, boys. One, I don't know if you were aware of this, but the sinkhole that is disrupting our lives underneath 44, which has diverted all the interstate traffic through the city.
Right.
And it's pretty disruptive, right? That sinkhole we discovered yesterday had... You could Google map it. So, like, you could Google St. Louis sinkhole.
And there it was.
Google Maps was there. And there were reviews of it. So, yesterday we started encouraging people to leave reviews. And a couple of people did.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Chris and Amy told us about this sinkhole. And it's the greatest thing. Some of the reviews were really funny. And so I checked last night to see if there were any better reviews. And it's off the map. Somebody took it down.
Big brother.
Wow. Well,
who would have done that?
Well, somebody that realized that there was going to be a second sinkhole. So if you Google St. Louis sinkhole, you got, two to choose from now.
Well, so my understanding is they have been filling in that sinkhole. Huh. And I think it's temporary. They're filling it in so that they can, I don't know.
Well, they got to repair the pipes.
We talked to MoDOT the other day.
Yeah.
And it was Jen Walsh, I believe is her name. And Wade, my apologies, Jen Wade. And she told us that they were going to have to temporarily fill it in and then go back in and do all the piping and all that stuff. So, yeah, they're filling it in. But the problem is we really wanted it to be a tourist attraction. And we wanted there to be reviews of it. And I need to know who has taken that down. Did the city call Google? Did they reach out to Google?
That's probably what happened right there, yeah.
Did they say, hey, we can't have this?
Yeah.
It was it was fun.
Well, if the city's able to get a hold of Google, they may be better than I thought they were, because I don't know about you guys. Anytime I've tried to call Google or Apple, I've never gotten a human being to talk to me and help me fix a problem. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
Not ever. But as John mentioned, apparently there is a new sinkhole in St. Louis closer to the river.
It's right on the river.
It's right on the riverfront.
Just right next to the arch there.
Yep, it's pretty close to the arch. We have our very own Jade Aubrey, who is down there taking a look at it. She's going to report back to us. But I know that we were talking and joking about this in the office prior to the show, but it's like we got one sinkhole and then another one opens up. I mean, how many more are there going to be? And John, I know that this new one isn't about the water system. Well, Michael, I know that you've got thoughts on this too. But it's not really about the water, or our sewer system. I don't think the new sinkhole is. But what's going on here?
I don't know, but I think we ought to get prepared for it to continue to happen.
Right.
Because we have decaying infrastructure. We've got 40 or 50 years worth of neglect and of investment. This isn't a Kara Spencer problem. It's not a Tashara Jones problem. It's not a Lyda Crewson problem. It's not a Francis Slay problem. It's not a Vince Shamel problem. You see a common theme here? I'm going back for generations.
Well, you forgot Clarence Harmon and Freeman Boswick.
But all of them neglected our infrastructure. And that's what we're dealing with the consequences of. I drive every day from downtown to the Central West End on Olive and through some of the neighborhoods, and there's 2 water main breaks that are taking place there, and that's not something that just happens overnight. This is from decades of neglect.
And so what actually triggers a sinkhole? Is it the pipes burst, you get water underground,
right,
and it
deteriorates
all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I think there are some natural, sinkholes that happen. There's a golf course, Annbriar, over in southern Illinois that I like to go play at, and I want to say about a decade ago, they had a sinkhole in the middle of one of their fairways. But so that they are a natural phenomenon.
But that hole was hard to miss, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was a hole in one.
A lot of hole, for sure.
Right. But there are some natural phenomenons, but I don't think that's what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, no,
these are being caused.
You've got very old infrastructure that is going to deteriorate and it's going to break down and the pipes are going to burst, and that's going to continue to happen. And so far, the city has been reactive to all of those things. Okay, pipes burst, go fix them. But they've not been proactive in trying to identify the most vulnerable areas and go fix them.
Yeah. Listen to this, guys. So I've done some work in the past and present for the Metropolitan Sewer District. And about a decade ago, MSD was sued by the federal government. And they said, hey, man, you guys have got to get these sewers compliant, because some sewage was going straight into the Mississippi River. And as a result, there's been a couple of bond initiatives and stuff, et cetera, that have passed here in St. Louis to update it. But it was as soon as 10 years ago, there are some of the sewers in the city of St. Louis that are still made of wood, that were put in the 1800s for us to deal. Now, they've been updated and MSD's on it, and they're doing a fabulous job, but that's how old this town is. And that's how, much the infrastructure needed to be upgraded just on the sewers. So you can imagine when we're dealing with electric and water. Utility lines, that these are old and have got some issues.
So here's the problem with it, and I'm wondering what the solution is, because when it is a problem like the water system, the sewer system, and you try to tell the public, let's say these sinkholes are not opening up. Everything on the surface looks fine. I mean, yeah, the roads need to be fixed, and we have our other issues. That's the stuff people are thinking about. Like, fix the potholes, pay for more police, fix the crime. Do all of these things. But when you say to them, no, actually, the most important thing is the water system, if nobody can see it, then the public it doesn't get behind it. So how do you fix something like that? Because the only time they will get behind it is when a giant sinkhole opens up and disrupts everything.
Yeah. And, that's something.
So how do you convince them?
Well, that's something MSD had to deal with over the last 10 years. And they spent an extensive amount of time going and showing people exactly what I'm talking about. And I think that's, look, obviously those of us in different parts of the city who've lost our water service at certain times because yet another water main break has happened. There's some general understanding that we've got some problems, but I think it's part of what needs to happen from the city of St. Louis is they've got to go out and show people this story, because you're right, it's not sexy. You know, if you put more money into cops, you see more cops. At least that's the hope. You know, you can see a skyscraper being built, but
Right.
you can't see the tunnels of Dig Dug that have taken place all over St. Louis.
Dig Dug.
And it's just not sexy. So that's why it's important that you go out and tell that story.
Yeah, you got to tell the story. And the other thing you got to have is some leadership. Personally, if I were the mayor, which will never be the case, but I would start a conversation about privatizing the water department of the city, and bring a private company in who can do an assessment, some public education, can operate this system, and begin to proactively start fixing the problem.
Let's talk about how that works, John, because you and I were both supportive of privatization of the airport. And here we sit 10 years after that with an airport that they say we're going to update maybe in our lifetime. They're getting $100,000 to do a study, et cetera. But the idea of privatizing the water situation is part of, say they value the water system in St. Louis as $1 billion, that ultimately it's $1 billion project. Part of the sale that would happen to a private company is they'd say, okay, we're going to pay $1.5 billion for this water system, but we're immediately going to spend $1 billion overnight investing and fixing all these things. And that means $500 million to the city of St. Louis. And that's the one thing that I think privatization offers that we can't get through this bonding process.
Well, you can't.
It brings immediate relief and fixing.
The tax base in the city is insufficient to fix what's wrong.
Right.
You don't have as many people. A very large percentage of the property in St. Louis is not for profit. You think about the hospitals and universities, they don't pay property tax. So, where's the money going to come from? And then you've got this resistance to data centers that exist in City Hall, which is would be an immediate infusion of capital.
But that's also
into the city.
John, that's also the public generally does not want data centers, and that is a bipartisan sentiment.
It's interesting. It is bipartisan, but it's the populist fringes of both parties that are resistant to this because it's change. People don't want it. They, fear the unknown and so forth. It's the populist fringes of both parties that oppose this. The more moderate, if you think about populist socialists on the left and populists, whatever they are, on the right, in the middle now of American politics is free market capitalists and organized labor on the left and the right. And that's what represents the middle of American politics today. And if you look at data centers, the most vocal advocates for them are organized labor on the left and free market capitalists on the right.
It's kind of amazing, isn't it? But when you break it all down, it's over 70% of the public doesn't want a data center near them.
But they already have them.
70%. I know,
but it's misinformation.
I think what they don't want is they've seen the gigantic Amazon warehouse looking data centers right by their homes, making noise, making the water pressure go down or their electricity go up. And there are a lot of studies that have shown that in some of these areas, it has become more expensive to pay your electricity bill because of the data centers and all the infrastructure they need. That all gets passed down to the residents.
I guess not really, because it's all paid for. Look, we are going to be chasing power for the rest of our lives. Humanity will be chasing power for the rest of our lives. Cost of power is going to continue to go up regardless. It always has. Oil's increased in expenses. Coal's always going up. Even solar, the price is going up. So I just think it's misinformation and people buying into a narrative and fear of what AI could be, that robot's going to come take my job. Yeah, I don't like that either. But I do like the fact that today when I'm going to meet John for a meeting later and I want to get something to eat on the way, I'm going to go on that Chick-fil-A app and I'm going to order me up a chicken sandwich. And when I pull up there, it's going to be there. Guess what that is? A data center. And then when I'm sitting at the coffee shop waiting for John to show up and I'm watching the World Cup
I'm never late.
on my phone, I'm watching that through a data center. So I think the idea of data centers has more to do with the cyborgs and people's fear than it does to what we're dealing with in reality, which is this is the lifeline of our society.
Well, and as to the electric grid, the one thing that does happen when these facilities come online is that they update the power grid in whatever area they happen to be in, and that's a benefit to everybody.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly with me today. No Amy Marks Kors. We don't know where she's at. She's gone again.
Gone.
Traded to the Mets.
She has absconded somewhere. I don't know what she's doing, but she's gone. So John and I will hang out all day. Michael Kelly is with us for the 9 o'clock hour, and it's a big day today for Michael Kelly.
It is a big day.
We're going to tell you about that here on KMOX.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767. 800-838-6767.
Podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
This year, America celebrates 250 years. 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder, but our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
For men over 50, staying healthy shouldn't feel complicated. Neovitin Men's 50 Plus is a doctor-formulated daily multivitamin designed to support everyday wellness with just 2 tablets a day. You can subscribe at neovitin.com for convenient monthly delivery right to your door, or find Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Deerbirds or Schnucks. All Neovitin vitamins are manufactured in a GMP-certified facility in the USA and are designed for real, everyday routines. Make nutrition easy with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus.
The financial industry is getting rich on baby boomers. Don't be their next victim. Find out the truth of what's really going on in the retirement industry. Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
I mean, nobody really cares when it's your birthday.
It's the truth, right?
I mean, they really don't. It's like, oh, we can have a party or something, but it's really, they just want to go to a party.
Well, but it's something we all have in common.
We do. Everybody has it in common, and that's why nobody cares. Because you care about your birthday. You don't care about anybody else's. Michael Kelly, it is his birthday today. Today. And it's what we were just talking about, your 50th. Surprise birthday party that this man right here, John Hancock, put on.
Best night of my life.
It was great. Your 50th birthday.
It really was. Nice. And I feel like it was just 2 weeks ago, and here we are a year later.
54 weeks ago.
Do you know why?
So when old people tell you that time's flying by, yeah, I'm living that.
You know why?
I'm an old person.
It feels like I just got back from your birthday because it was so far out in
Augusta, Missouri.
My
right.
God.
So here's how the concept arrived.
Yeah.
So we're working on a project together, Michael and I, and this particular property, lovely property. It's hundreds of acres.
Oh, it's really nice out there.
Yeah.
It's just on the moon.
It's and that facility hosts a lot of fundraisers. So I set this up by saying we're having a fundraiser for our mutual project. It's going to be at this facility, and the owner, was in on it, and so that was the pretext of the party, and then got the invitations developed, and nobody spilled the beans, which was awesome. And invited, I knew a segment of Michael's friends, but I didn't know everybody. So I had some, helpers that looped in clients and friends and childhood friends and then his expansive family, and got everybody invited. And then it came the night up, Franz. Michael had to be there at 7 o'clock. Everybody else got there earlier. And I couldn't deliver him early because that would, people would be walking in and so forth. So, and I know this about this guy. He's early to everything. So I asked him to pick me up, and we'd drive to this thing together. I knew he'd be early. So I called him about an hour before he was supposed to be at my house. And I said, buddy, you won't believe this. I fell asleep, and, I haven't taken a shower. I got, it's going to be a while. Little did I know he was already parked 5 minutes away from my house because he was an hour early.
Yeah.
An
So
hour early.
Ridiculous.
It was a Friday night, and John and I had to do it, and I was ready to get there and get it over with. We were going to talk to people.
Right. So he thought.
I mean, Michael.
So he
You're
gets
like my mother.
So I get in the shower.
Everything is early.
Yeah.
I get in the shower. I hear the dog bark, and that tells me that Michael has entered the house. And of course, my wife is at the party.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
Michael has free range to just walk into your home.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't even knock.
No, I told him I'm going to be in the shower.
Oh, is it like if he just showed up? Can he just come in?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't do it. I mean, he knows that I was coming, and I know how to go in through the garage. And
right.
Sorry to derail, but I just didn't know that he had in and out privileges.
So
it's not like I show up and have a beer.
I do. I leave my garage door up most of the time. I have a neighbor that comes in and takes beer out of my fridge. But anyway,
does he tell you?
No, but I know who it is. So anyway. So I proceed to take the longest shower of my entire life, and the dog's barking, and so Michael, I know, is getting irritated.
Yes,
because he feels like we're going to be late, and da-da-da. So I come downstairs, finally, still too early to leave, and so I said, my belt. I forgot my belt. So I go back upstairs, take my time, put the belt on, come downstairs. We're walking out the door.
Oh, I got to take the dog out.
No, I said, my phone. Where's my phone? I can't
Oh, my
find
God.
my phone.
You kept forgetting
I wanted
stuff.
to kill him.
So
I wanted to kill him.
So I went back. I got the phone. And then come down the stairs again. It was still too early to leave. So he said, we got to go. He's getting in the car. And I said, I promised Georgianne I'd take the dog out. And so I walked the dog back and forth in the yard until it's time to leave. And then we got to the party.
We did. And yeah, I should have known something when John came down in a pink blazer. Because we would not normally go to an event and speak together where John's in a pink blazer. It's more likely that I'd wear a pink blazer than he would, right?
Why would he not?
Because he's square,
He is a square. That's
a
right.
good-looking blazer, if I do say so myself.
But anyway, it was the best day of my life. They pulled it off on me. All of my worlds collided. So many people made the trip out there, and here we are a year later, and you feel guilty about it.
Why?
Because it was really one of the best nights of my life, and now I feel like it was just yesterday, and you realize how quickly time is going by. That it just feels like I just had that party, and here we are talking about my birthday again.
And I know everybody knows this. Anybody who is who's getting up there, I think any of us know this, that it is the older you get, the quicker it does go. That's
Right.
like, you don't realize that when you're 15, 20, 25, and then the older you get, like, oh my God, we just had Christmas.
Right.
Just had Christmas.
Can't wait for Christmas.
Chris, we're only 6 months away from Christmas.
I know. So I guess the lesson is enjoy it. And I know everybody knows to enjoy it, but it's good to be reminded.
Doesn't it feel like we just had Memorial Day and it's 4th of July next week?
Can you believe it?
And, I can't. And then the kids are going to be going back to school. I used to think summer was so long when I was in school, and now I feel like these kids barely get time.
The Cardinals are 6 games over 500. Who would have thought?
The Cardinals are right now a playoff team.
Are any of our players going to get voted in to the All-Star?
No, Lo.
That stinks.
No, yeah.
There's a couple worthy.
Tell you what, though, in the National League, it looks like it's going to be a team of all Dodgers and Braves.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they're finalists for everything. Yeah. It's crazy. All right. Michael Kelly, happy birthday.
Thanks,
we
bro.
love you very much. 51st.
Am I out of here early then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, screw you. You're staying right there. 51st birthday doesn't mean anything.
Listen to this music. It's good stuff.
This is a great song. Great album. Achtung, baby. It's Michael Kelly on his little birthday boy. Isn't he cute? It's Michael Kelly, John Hancock with me on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Every day starts the same way, and then it goes wherever it wants.
Life doesn't stop for Cardinals baseball. It just kind of runs alongside it. Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. We're talking real life, real stuff, and yes, a lot of Cardinals along the way, because that's how fans actually live it. It's just like happy hour, man. We get together every day from 1 to 5. We have fun, we laugh, we commiserate, we complain. DGS 1 to 5.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Raindrops are falling from the sky, drizzle all day, and storms throughout the day. 74 degrees right now. 78 is a high. This rain sticks around with us all the way into the morning tomorrow, and then it clears up for what's going to be a hot week ahead, right?
Don't forget about the flood watch.
Is there a flood watch,
There's a flood watch
There's a
until
flood
7.
watch till 7 p.m., so keep an eye out on that as well.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
We often hear the words retirement and annuity used in the same sentence, but it's important to know that not all annuities are the same. If you're not sure, it may be time for an annuity x-ray. Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group can review your annuity. Call Steve at 636-230-8824 and at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
Your health story is shaped by more than genetics. Everyday choices like nutrition, physical activity, sleep, tobacco use, and routine screenings all play a role in your future health. Seidman Cancer Center's Your Disease Risk helps you understand how family history and lifestyle work together, offering personalized insights to support healthier decisions. Knowing your risks today can help protect your tomorrow. Visit seidman.washu.edu/YDR.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Brian Adams is bringing the Roll with the Punches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Brian Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Brian Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Girardo. Brian Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Chris and Amy show sans Amy today.
No Amy.
No Amy.
That's
she is
7-4 time right there, by the way, boys.
This one?
7-4 time, yeah.
Something comes out at the night. Is that this song?
Yeah, nobody.
What is this?
This is The Fish.
Oh, this is yes. It's called The Fish?
Yep.
Yes. John Hancock's with me all day. Michael Kelly in for a little bit longer. Amy Marks-Kors she's in Manitowoc, Wisconsin.
Is that right?
Yes.
Manitowoc.
How do you spell
she's
that?
trying to get Brendan Dassey out of prison.
Oh, well, that's important.
Spell Manitowoc, Hancock.
MANTIQUAC.
Nope. So,
I love him because he just says it authoritatively. I'm like, okay, sounds right.
Do you know what it's like to do a 3-hour show with John?
Do I ever?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he'll tell me stuff and I just take it as gospel and then I'm repeating it later. He's like, buddy, that was a joke.
3 hours just throwing stuff at the wall.
Yep.
Just seeing what sticks.
And a lot of stuff does stick to that wall. I've learned that over these many years.
It really does.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, so you know that the president, Donald Trump, he is wanting this SAVE Act to pass in Congress and has sort of threatened his party to get it done. It doesn't appear to have a whole lot of legs, like it's actually going to be signed into law. And a lot of this is about election fraud or the claims of election fraud. And there are a lot of people who believe something nefarious happened in 2020. And they still believe that there's bad stuff going on. Well, Thomas Massey is a Republican from the state of Kentucky. He's a representative in the 4th District there.
Lost his primary to a Trump-backed opponent.
But he was a MAGA standard bearer for a long
while.
time.
He was a popular. I mean, when he got elected to Congress, he was a populist.
Yeah.
Well, so he is turned on that, and he appears to be over all that. And this is what he had to say when he was talking about election fraud recently.
I think it's ironic that we control the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House, and we're yelling election fraud. I mean, we won all the damn elections, and we're in charge, and what are we doing with it? We're bankrupting the country, we're starting new wars, we're violating the Constitution, we're not cracking down on the fraud. The problem is not the elections. We won the damn elections. The problem is we're wasting our opportunity that the voters gave us. And the Republicans are going to pay for that in November. It'll be an absolute shellacking if they don't wake up.
So that is Thomas Massey, again, Republican from Kentucky. I wonder, guys, and hopefully you have some answers here, and maybe things have changed, because I know we've had this conversation before, but how many Republicans in Congress, in the Senate, agree with him privately, but won't say it publicly?
Oh, on this issue, the vast majority, if not nearly everyone.
Yeah, because the president has lumped so much into this. I mean, he's trying to build this narrative that when he loses, it's not because of him. It's because, they're voting
cheated.
dead people and they're cheating, etc. But some of the things the president's up to with this Save America Act is problematic for his own party.
Yes.
Particularly in these Southwest states where a lot of older folks have moved to, Arizona, Nevada, Republican states.
Florida,
that they have mail-in voting. They have that, by the way, the president mails his vote in. And he's kneecapping, if you will, his own party with a lot of this nonsense.
Yeah, we had become, we being the Republican Party, and I was very active with the establishment Republican Party. And over the course of the last 40 years probably, we had perfected the art of mail-in voting and getting our people to sending ballots to our people to get them to mail in their votes early so that you could have those banked going into the election. And Republican absentee voters are more faithful than Democratic. The Democratic base is not real good with the mail necessarily. Right. And our base is. And so this assault on mail-in voting by the president is actually doing a political disservice to Republican political effectiveness. And all of it based on a predicate that just doesn't exist. There is no widespread, coordinated fraud that takes place in American elections. There are fraudulent votes cast in every election, but their numbers are small. And the ability to the idea that you can manipulate in a presidential election enough voting jurisdictions in enough states to make the difference is ridiculous.
And I think it's coupled with the fact that the president can't win on the issues anymore. Mark Reardon, when he used to be on KMOX, and even when he moved over to 97.1, used to start his show with stop spending, category that came, and it was an assault at the Democrats. Well,
the Tea Party movement.
Yeah, what are the Republicans to say? No more foreign wars. They put us into foreign wars. We're going to stop spending. Oh my gosh, the deficit's larger than it's ever been today. Free market capitalism. Well, we have tariffs. I mean, they cannot run on the issues. So if you can't run on the issues and you can't win on the issues, you have to try to change the rules.
Yeah,
and that's what the president's trying to do.
Right, and about the only thing the Republicans have been consistent on through the Trump era is the culture war, and that has paid dividends at the polls.
It does work.
Yeah.
But it's tired, right? Like, I don't see them bringing out the transgender stuff as much right now. They're trying to do it with
You're not watching Fox News, buddy.
Well, thank God. Are they still brainwashing them people about these transgenders? That all 6 of them?
It's the culture war stuff is still very prevalent in conversation on the right. Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how that doesn't grow tiresome for people. Like at some point, isn't it just like I don't care about that anymore? It doesn't affect my life, but you know what does affect my life? How much all this crap costs?
Well, that's
right. How much it costs to go to the store or to buy gas or to buy a house. That's what I care about.
Which is why the midterms are going to really be bad.
I just don't understand why the average person cares so much about stuff that does not affect them.
And then when they're peeing on your leg and telling you it's raining by, prices are down, no, they're not. Remember when the president was out there in front of Bedminster or whatever where he buried his wife, that
in
golf
the backyard?
course. Yeah, in the backyard. He had the bacon and the eggs and everything laid out there. And look at these costs. Inflation this, inflation that. And now he says it's all nonsense. That's not happening. Prices are going down. On what planet? So these people I think that Fox News may be one of the most impressive things that has ever been invented because it is mass brainwashing that is taking place.
By the way, you guys have heard of the Heritage Foundation?
Yes.
You know what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, has it changed.
The Heritage Foundation analyzed when we're talking about election fraud, and they went through all the swing states, and this was done within the last year. So they went through Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. All the swing states looking at the fraudulent votes that were cast. And I'm going to give you the highest percentage, the state with the highest percentage of fraudulent votes cast.
All right.
And that was Wisconsin.
Okay.
They looked back 20 years over the course of 28 elections, a total of 45,300,000 votes.
All right.
They found 69 cases of fraud over 20 years.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah.
That percentage works out to 0.000152.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost how many transgenders are playing sports.
American elections.
This is not a problem. This is being used for political purposes, but it is not an American problem. It just isn't.
American elections are so well run, and they're well run
in a
bipartisan manner everywhere. That when the Soviet Union collapsed, and all these countries started developing democracies or some version of representative republics, it was the United States. And our election experts, in fact, one right here in St. Louis, Paul DiGregorio, who ran the St. Louis County Election Board, would go all over the world training people how to run legitimate elections. And that's what the United States does and continues to do. So
John Hancock, Michael Kelly, the birthday boy, with us here on KMOX. A little bit long. I might make Michael stick around. You got somewhere to go?
No, not really, but I'm going to say I do so that I can leave.
Okay. Well, you can't leave yet.
All right.
You got a few more minutes with us, big boy.
All right, let's go.
Hancock and Kelly on the Chris and Amy Show. Chris Ranji with you as well on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
You could go see Dave Matthews for your birthday, Michael. You can go to Indianapolis,
Over
right?
in Indy, right?
But
I think these storms are blowing that way.
Yeah, you don't want all that.
No. He didn't come through St. Louis this year. Like a lot of our big music stars are not coming through town anymore.
Muse is coming here.
Muse?
Muse.
Are they going to be at the
here.
hockey stadium?
No, the hockey stadium.
Who's
No.
Muse?
John, who is Muse? Are you kidding me?
One of my favorites.
Huh. What's their big hit?
Oh, gosh. Knights of Sidonia.
Oh, Knights of Sidonia. You should have said that to start with.
Madness, Hysteria. I'm trying to think of the ones that John would know.
None of them.
None of them, yeah. You may have heard some of these in passing.
How old is this band?
I mean, they're probably 40s. Like, I think the guys are probably in early 40s.
They're in their 40s. So they've been around for 20 years.
They're from the UK. Yeah, I think their first album was 2006, right around then. So
where
awesome.
are they playing?
Amphitheater.
At the amphitheater. At Hollywood Casino Amphitheater.
Yeah.
And by the way, just a little sidebar before we move on here. They are, I'm telling you right now, they are the best live rock band in the world.
Is
right
that
now.
right?
Better than U2?
Okay, so here's the thing about U2. You know, that's my number one.
Right.
They're older.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't have quite the same energy they
Right.
used to, so it's not the same. Although they can have the best production out there. Muse has great production, but they're unbelievable, and live they're fantastic.
Never seen them. I'd go.
So it's I think it's next Sunday, a week from Sunday.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the female drummer?
Yes.
With Rush?
Yeah, she's great.
She's from Germany, right?
I
Is
think
she German?
Sweden or something.
Somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, wow. Because, Neil Peart,
he was great.
arguably
Maybe the greatest of all time.
maybe the best drum. Yeah. And man, they found a replacement. Very
what a hard
impressive.
job to walk into.
Yeah.
No it's
kidding.
like replacing Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
You can't. How can you do it?
Right.
Right.
So, guys, there are, first of all, Michael, a few people have texted in and have said happy
Thank
birthday
you.
to you.
Very kind.
That's
Grateful.
nice.
Big Blonde Dan, Mary Lynn has said happy birthday
Big
to
blonde,
you.
Dan.
That guy. I've heard he's really
He's
handsome.
prolific, and he is a handsome fella.
And so, also, somebody here says that Google took down our 5-star reviews on the sinkhole. Yes, they did. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the sinkhole reviews and the Google Maps location
I have a theory on this.
has been taken down, and I don't like it.
I have a theory on this. So I would imagine that Google has somebody that represents them to the Board of Aldermen, a lobbyist. And I'm guessing here that somebody from City Hall said to this lobbyist, we don't want this sinkhole on our thing. And that is how it got removed from Google. That's my theory. And I think it's a good one.
It's impressive theory.
Yeah.
And probably some truth to it.
There probably are some sort of like liaisons to governments and
right
that kind of thing where I don't know. There's constant communication. But why would you take that down? What's the big deal? The cop slide in Boston. Are you familiar with the cop slide?
Yeah.
That's
they still
on,
have reviews?
They still have reviews. It's like 115, 120 of them.
Yeah.
They still have reviews. And we were getting a bunch of reviews. When I looked at it yesterday, at first there were like 10. And then by the time the afternoon ended, it was like 25-ish or something. So
Nice.
it was going up. And then I checked last night and it was gone.
That's nonsense.
But a new sinkhole has opened up by the river, and Jade Aubrey, our reporter here,
Yes.
came in and showed us the video of it. There's something coming out of it.
Doesn't look like regular water.
It does not. It's right on the river, and it looks like some greenish, bluish,
well,
gray.
it looked like the reflecting pool was supposed to look like.
It did. But it's just sitting there. It's like mixing with the river water, but not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Well, it's like, you got these solutions when you pour one solution in and then another, and they never commingle.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or not,
Science.
but it certainly cannot.
Yeah, it's a science thing, right? Yeah. It's like remember those lamps when you were growing up?
Lava lamps.
Yeah, lava lamps.
Yeah.
It separates
That's
or
right.
something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is a question we were talking about.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
We were talking about Democratic messaging and because you said, Michael, that Republicans, I'm paraphrasing for you,
Yeah.
but what are they running on?
Right.
Right. And a texter said, well, what are the Democrats running on?
It's a great point. What are they running on other than we're not the Republicans, which, by the way, is going to be a very powerful message.
See, and I kind of disagree with that because I hear a lot of talk from Democrats about housing, affordability, health care, the pay gap, like making sure we have clean water. That's what I hear from them. And yeah, maybe some of that stuff that the Republicans are bad and Trump is bad. Yes, they're doing that, but it's not just that. And to me, if that's all you hear, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, fair. But in the past, we've seen parties put together a plan. Geez, things have been so bad. We have this contract with America that we're going to blah, 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 blah.
1994.
And we're not seeing that right now from the Democrats. By the way, I don't think they need it. All they need to do is say, we're not him.
But they should still continue to press what their party platform is.
Yes. Sure. Right.
Healthcare, again, like the important stuff that people really do care about.
Yeah.
And they're on that side. So I don't know.
Party platforms in the recent era have gone out the window. I mean, they just
parties.
Right. Parties. Yep.
Well, one of them doesn't have a platform right now, isn't that right? Didn't they before
Trump
the last
didn't have
election?
one,
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The last two cycles.
John Hancock, Michael Kelly.
See you guys.
John sticking around. Happy birthday, Michael.
Thanks, man.
We love you.
Have a good day, guys.
See you, buddy.
Get lost. This is Muse right here, John.
Can't wait.
Hour 2 of the show next on KMOX.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. The 9 a.m. staff meeting? How about breakfast burritos and lots of coffee? Big client presentation at noon? Let's do Mediterranean bowls. Accounting's gotta work late. Keep them pepped up with spicy noodles. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Pros, save more on what you need to get the job done right now at Lowe's. Get 15% off select custom entry and interior doors. Plus, save $80 on the DeWalt 20-volt Max 2-tool combo kit, now just $169. And at the Lowe's Pro Desk, bring us your materials list and get a quote in minutes. Handwritten, a photo, or even a sticky note is all you need. Keep your jobs moving faster and on budget at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Looking for something new? Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce 2 brand new opportunities in St. Charles County. Discover Crooked Creek at Cottleville Trails, featuring stylish new townhomes from the high 300s and access to incredible amenities that make Cottleville Trails one of the area's most sought-after communities. Or find the space you've been dreaming of at South Point Estates, where expansive 3+ acre home sites and top-rated Wentzville schools create the perfect setting for your custom dream home. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more about these exciting new communities.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, Skin Cancer Awareness this summertime, and we're joined by Dr. Aubriana McAvoy, a WashU medicine surgeon.
Skin cancer is both common, but in many cases preventable. So you don't need to live in fear of the sun, but small habits really matter, like wearing sunscreen, protecting your children, and paying attention to any changes in your skin.
For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood, the voice of St. Louis.
At 10 o'clock, we have cloudy skies, 71 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. As World Cup fans from around the world arrive in Kansas City, the heat is becoming a concern. Health officials say the humidity here can catch international visitors off guard. Lisa Cox with the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services tells Missouri Net it all depends on where people are from.
We tend to have humidity levels around 70% sometimes in the summer months. That can take a toll on a person's body if they're not used to it. If they're more used to maybe a 40% humidity level, that paired with the beating sun and the high temperatures can really cause it to become difficult to perspirate.
Cox says if someone stops sweating or feels overheated, it could be a sign of heat exhaustion or even heat stroke, and they should get help right away. The Midwest could be trapped under a heat dome as we head toward the 4th of July. AccuWeather forecasters say St. Louis may rack up 8 straight days with highs at or above 90. Actual temperatures in some metro areas in the middle of the nation could approach triple digits over the next week. We'll get an update on our local forecast with Heather Zare coming up in just a moment. The U.S. Figure Skating Championship was cool, and it brought money and attention to the St. Louis area.
A new study from the St. Louis Sports Commission says the event's 7 days brought almost $16 million to the region during a typically slow time. It also brought significant national exposure, 18 hours of nationally televised coverage, including 8 hours on NBC, with a combined 6.5 million viewers. The Today Today Show was here, along with 150 national media members, resulting in huge social media engagement. The Sports Commission says they'll use the success of this event to lure other big sporting events to the area. Beth Coughlin, KMOX News.
It just got a lot more expensive to buy Apple's new iPad and MacBook. Prices going up more than $100. The MacBook Pro now starts at $2,000. Apple blames a shortage of AI chips. Let's get more from ABC's Elizabeth Schultze.
AI uses a lot of computing power, and that has caused demand and prices for computer chips to skyrocket. This is not just a problem that's hitting Apple. Microsoft just announced that it will increase Xbox prices by $100 to $150, citing the chip shortage. Nintendo also raising the price for its Switch 2.
It's 10:02. Time to check the forecast.
The flood watch continues through this evening. We'll have showers and even a heavy thunderstorm. Watch for flooding downpours, hail, and damaging winds in the strongest storms. Humid with clouds and a high of 78. The showers and thunderstorms move slowly off to the south overnight. It'll stay rather cloudy and humid with a low near 70. We'll have another thunderstorm or two, high 84 tomorrow. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zayer on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We have 72 degrees in Florissant at 72 in St. Peter's and light rain 71 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
It is the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, hour 2 of 3. John Hancock. And every Friday, we talk to somebody from St. Louis Magazine, one of the fine reporters there, covering all kinds of things around St. Louis. And joining us now is the associate editor for St. Louis Magazine, Mike Miller, on the Quiver River Electric guest line, because above the City Hall in University City, there is a searchlight that has been there for over 100 years.
Wow.
And there is an effort to restore it. And also, why is there a searchlight there? Well, we talked to Mike Miller about that. He joins us on KMOX. How's it going, Mike?
Oh, I can't complain. Well, I guess I could complain. It's still raining, but it's a pleasure to be on with you folks today.
Well, it's good to have you with us. So, this searchlight that I did not know existed is above this building. Why is it there? What does it do? And what do they want to do with it?
These are all great questions, and these are all questions that the Historical Society of University City gets fairly regularly. And that's how I found this story. I was paying attention to a city council meeting in University City a couple weeks ago, and during the public comment, one of the members of the Historical Society of University City came and basically made the pitch of why this searchlight is important. And the reason why it is important to the Historical Society is that this basically predates the founding of University City. It was installed in the roof of what is now the City Hall building in 1903 by E.G. Lewis, Edward Gardner Lewis, who was the founder of UCity. And basically, at that time, he was a publishing powerhouse. He operated a few publications from that building that is now City Hall. And he did this in 1903 basically to draw attention to his publishing empire. His thought was, people are coming to St. Louis for the World's Fair in the following year. Let's get this literal beacon in the sky to show them, hey, this is this growing community that will eventually, in a couple of years, become University City. But maybe we could draw them over here and get them subscribed to one of my magazines. So this was marketing in the very purest sense of the word in 1903. And so this goes back, obviously, 123 years. It still works. And the thought is, let's get this thing out of the roof, shining again, and use it for what it was originally intended to do, which was draw some attention to University City.
This is fascinating to me. I'm a fan and student of ragtime music. Scott Joplin, who was living in St. Louis in 1903, and his publisher, who was living in St. Louis in 1903, Joplin published a rag in 1907 called Searchlight Rag. I wonder if it was based on the very light you're describing here, Mike.
I wish I had known this a few days ago when I was writing and reporting this story. That's a heck of a little yarn there.
See, now you need John Hancock with you at all times. He's got these little nuggets every now and then that there's some gold in there. There's some gold in those nuggets.
I got a lot of nuggets over here.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah, so the restoration of it could cost quite a bit of money, and so they want to have this done. Like, what would go into it, and then what would they use it for? Just have it shine every night, or what would be the plan here?
Another great question. So no, this would not shine every night. It would not even shine most nights. This would only come out and shine. It could be a few times a year, a handful of times a year. That number is to be determined. But the thought is, get it up there, get some, as a symbol of civic pride for things like the Loop Ice Carnival, or let's say, WashU has their commencement. Maybe WashU would want to sponsor it for a night, and they could put like a red or green filter on it and shine it over to the campus. And so it would only come out a few times a year. This would not be a every single night thing where this searchlight's just blaring in the night sky. But no, they wanted the city to help with the financing of some restoration. So the cost that they were quoted was roughly $45,000, and University City approved that in their latest budget earlier this week. And so the light works. That's the cool thing. The light actually works. It could use a few. I was told some minor restoration work to get it fully up and running, and everyone feels comfortable about it. The elevator that raises it out of the roof, that mostly works. The problem is the elevator tracks are seemingly a little unbalanced at the moment, so that's important. You want to get that fixed so you don't have this huge historic searchlight just hanging out on the roof of City Hall. And so basically the restoration work would be the rebalancing of the elevator, add a heat shield, probably some wiring that needs to be touched up. But otherwise, I mean, this thing seems to work. I think I was told they have enough carbon rods for this project to shine multiple times a year for at least a decade without having to purchase any more of those. So really, it's just this elevator work to get it out of the roof and get it back in reliably is really all that's needed to get this thing back out and shining once again.
Just one light bulb in this thing?
That's a good question. That I do not know. And that's also part of the issue that they've encountered is they, not the light bulb specifically, but there's no manual for how to operate this thing. So right now, in addition to getting this funding, part of the restoration work will include just trying to create an actual written plan, a written guide, so that there might be 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many guys, but it's not a large number of guys who know how this thing actually works. They want to get it in writing, so all the specs, all the things, the repairs, the maintenance, all that stuff is written down for the next generation, the generation after that, to hopefully keep this light going for several years.
Wonder if it's got one of those little strings you pull to turn it on. I got a light in my basement that you pull a little string there and the light comes on.
I don't think it's that. It's probably it's got to be a switch somewhere. Probably a big lever.
Huh.
Probably a big lever. Yeah, I bet you it is. It's one. Seeing some of the photos from inside this little vault in the ceiling where they keep it. I mean, this thing is really cool. I mean, it got some serious restoration, I think, in the 1960s, and I think there was some old World War II era spotlights that it has taken some parts from. I guess don't quote me on that, but I seem to remember that's what I was told. But anyway, this thing is really super cool, a real cool feat of engineering. It's about 80 inches across, weighs a couple tons at least, and it's just a really, really cool piece of machinery.
Mike Miller, associate editor for St. Louis Magazine, is with us on KMOX. Also, last month, I guess it was almost about a month ago, actually, you wrote about a space museum which could potentially be coming to St. Louis, or St. Charles, actually, that it's in Bonne Terre now, which I didn't know there was a space museum there, and I'm not even really sure why there is one.
Well, that's
but
fascinating.
You did write about one coming to St. Charles. What's that all about?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm trying to remember what I wrote for that story. It was several stories ago. No, you got the main points correct. There is a space museum in Bonne Terre. And the thought is they've outgrown the space. They have some artifacts that I think they want to get on display, and so they're just looking for more room. And St. Charles is making a push to increase its tourism opportunities. It feels like the city is in a good strategic place for a museum like that, in that it is located close to Boeing headquarters. It is obviously close enough to the broader St. Louis metro area. So it's viewed by city officials in St. Charles as a tourism opportunity. But there are some other towns around Missouri who are trying to get this thing in their town, one of which is Neosho, Missouri. So that's ongoing. I think they're still trying to figure out some funding things in St. Charles, but I know the mayor over there, Dan Borgmeyer, he's very eager to make his pitch and get this museum into a city building in St. Charles in the coming years. But stay tuned.
Mike Miller is our guest. He's the associate editor of St. Louis Magazine. They join us every Friday in this 10 o'clock time. So we're talking outer space here, right?
Absolutely. Outer space. It's got some really cool artifacts. I think it's got a training suit worn by Gus Grissom. It's got some, I think some, I'm trying to remember. I don't have the story in front of me. Like I said, it's been a few weeks, but I think they have like some pellets that monkeys were given during like training. Like they have some really cool artifacts. There's stuff you're not necessarily going to see.
They got monkey pellets.
Museum.
Yeah. They got
They got all sorts of stuff. Hey, if someone was training to help with the space program in the U.S. Several decades ago, it might be in this museum. So they got some really cool stuff. But yeah, it's out of the way. It's sort of hidden in plain sight. And so the museum itself, the directors there, they're trying to get some more exposure. And they think moving and having more space to showcase their artifacts would be good for that museum in the long run.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I went to the Air and Space Museum in Washington about, I don't know, a month ago or so. And the Gemini 4, Gemini 4 is there. And that was on the Titan II rocket. And right at the bottom of it, it says that it was made in McDonald Corp. And it was made in St. Louis. I thought, oh, great. That's really cool. So I think that'd be a natural place for some sort of space museum to happen here in the St. Louis area.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there are just so many connections, like you mentioned. I mean, the fact that Mercury and Gemini can both trace their construction, their design to St. Louis, and just some of the work that was done by McDonnell Aircraft way back in the day. So there are some surprising, hidden in plain sight, cool connections that this region does have to the United States space program.
Well, we'll be fascinated to see the competition between St. Charles and Neosho to see who will be the home of this place.
It's the biggest competition going these days. There's nothing hotter right now.
Sorry, not even the World Cup. Mike Miller, associate editor for St. Louis Magazine. Thanks for talking with us today. We enjoyed it.
Absolutely, fellas. Talk to you next time.
Where is Neosho, Missouri?
It's in Newton County in the southwestern part, south of Joplin, north of McDonald County, right there in Newton County.
Oh, so it's way down there, huh?
Yeah. Great part of the state. Love that part of the state.
You like it better than this part of the state?
No, but I almost moved down there.
Why?
Well, they've got Missouri Southern University, and there was a time I thought about maybe moving down there and becoming a professor.
Really?
Yeah.
When was that?
It would have been 1993-ish.
Would you have taught political science?
Yes.
Do you, in hindsight, wish you had gone into that, or are you happy with what you're doing?
You know, that's a question. I mean, I would love to have done that, but I also really did enjoy holding and running for office. So, and life's played out, and I'm perfectly happy, and my kids were raised here, and I'm born and raised in St. Louis, so that would have been a big move.
John, I tell you something. If I had been old enough and lived in Missouri, I'd have voted for you for Secretary of State.
Oh, I doubt it, Ronch.
No. Why?
I was a conservative Republican.
Yeah, but you're not a lunatic.
Well, by the standard of that time, perhaps I was.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji on KMOX at 10:30. We're going to talk to CEO of the Blues, Chris Zimmerman.
He's a great guy.
The NHL draft starts tonight. The Blues have 4 first-round picks. So we're going to talk about that. Also, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships had a big economic impact on St. Louis when that was here. We'll talk to Chris about that. That's all coming up. Jen Cease will talk World Cup with us at 11.
Big.
And with the Marlins in town, Craig Mish from the Marlins TV pre- and post-game shows. He will be with us at 11:30. Also, he experienced the Tartan Army.
Nice.
Because the Scots went to the Marlins game the last couple of days, and they were awesome. It's the Chris and Amy Show with John Hancock today on KMOX.
Hi, it's Amy Mark Scores for Rottler Pest Solutions. Okay, we've all been there. You're hanging out outside in the backyard, maybe on the deck. You're barbecuing. You have family over, friends over, and the party gets ruined by mosquitoes and other stinging insects. Here's what you need to do. You need to visit Rottler.com. Rottler helps reduce mosquito activity so you and your family can enjoy your outdoor spaces. Technicians identify and treat mosquito breeding areas, and those treatments target mosquito larvae and help reduce mosquito populations for weeks at a time. Try a treatment before your next backyard gathering. You're going to notice a difference. Same thing with stinging insects, which can pose safety risks and even damage property. Rottler safely identifies and treats nests to help protect your home. For 70 years, Rottler Pest Solutions has helped local homeowners protect what matters most. Visit them today at Rottler.com.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Taking care of your health shouldn't feel complicated. That's why we created NeoVitan to make nutrition easy. Our doctor-formulated vitamins are designed for real life and delivered straight to your door with our monthly subscription. No guesswork, no running out. Just clean, high-quality supplements manufactured in the USA using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Subscribe today at neovitan.com and take one simple step toward better daily nutrition. Visit neovitan.com and start making nutrition easy today.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Is your financial advisor working more for your retirement or for his? Find out the real story behind the financial industry with Greg Ayler, Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Chris and Amy Show on KMOX. No Amy Marks Cars. Marks Cars. How about that?
That's St. Louis pronunciation.
Hey, Farty. She's driving down Farty. Amy Marks Cars.
Where is she off to?
Well, I believe she is in Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
Interesting.
She's down there with the Tartan Army. Huh. Watching soccer. We'll talk to Jen Cease about that. And speaking of the Tartan Army.
Yes.
The Tartan Army. The Scots, I don't know if you were paying attention to, and really it's not just Scotland. It's been Norway and, there have been the Japanese who have been here, and what was the other the Netherlands?
Yeah,
they've just had some really great crowds.
Football fans,
yes, the soccer fans, and they've been all over. And the Scots were in Boston last week because they had a game there,
right?
And now they've been in Miami. And I don't know if you've been watching, but they brought
quite a crew.
Oh, well, I can't wait to talk to Craig Mish about it because Craig was there covering it, and they were the fans. There were thousands of them, and they were so loud during the course of a Marlins baseball game, which no one's ever allowed at a Marlins game.
I wonder,
that has to be the loudest that stadium ever was.
Yeah, I wonder if when the Scots are in the stands and they're hollering, if you can understand what they're saying. Because when they speak, I cannot.
You know what? Sometimes they do not. You're right. Sometimes they're having some difficulty.
Yeah, I can't understand. There's one of my favorite snooker players is from Wishaw in Scotland. And when he does an interview, I can't understand what he's saying.
So this is from the Rangers broadcast this week, because the Texas Rangers were playing in Miami against the Marlins, and this is them talking about all the Scottish folks there.
I tell you what, I would give so much, I don't know what it is, money, baseball cards, whatever it is, to get this environment at baseball games on a more consistent basis.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it because this isn't the way of baseball fans, but this is amazing.
And they were drinking heavily, getting ready to go, and coming to the game. Stays 2-2. So that's the thing. They're having a great time here following their soccer team. Their football team.
Okay.
But they're also having fun taking over these towns and these ballparks for these major league games. They know how to do it.
Do you hear what's going on? Like, that's just every pitch.
Yeah.
They're doing that between pitches.
Well, they're in Miami, and they what a great city to wear a kilt, and they're up there hollering and screaming. You got to love it.
They were in the first inning when the Marlins, so the Marlins, their home team, so they're on defense, and they ended the inning with a pop-up, like just a lazy pop fly to right field, and just the crowd like, whoa, and then as soon as they caught it, the eruption of cheers. It's the tarps off thing, but somehow times 50.
Yeah.
Because those folks are doing it all game.
And there are hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yes. It is so much fun,
And the great thing about being in Miami in a Marlins game is there's plenty of tickets available. So,
oh my God. They've had such a difficult time historically getting people into that ballpark.
And they've won the World Series twice as a franchise, and they just have never been able to develop a fan base because I guess there's so much other stuff to do.
No, I'll tell you what part of the problem is. The ownership has been really lousy for years.
Yeah.
Both World Series, after they won them, they immediately traded away all their players.
Yeah.
True. You cannot build a fan base like that.
Didn't Derek Jeter have a piece of that franchise at one point?
He did.
Yeah, but no longer, right?
I don't think so. I think he got out. Yeah. But you can't. When they won in 2003, they had Miguel Cabrera on that team.
Right.
One of the great right-handed hitters of, the last 20-plus years. And they just said, all right, no, we can't afford to keep this guy. See ya. I mean, you cannot build a fan base like that.
No.
Because if you do it, what you're telling the people is, well, we've used you for a championship now. Goodbye. See you. And we don't really care about you, the fans who are paying for this. So I don't blame people down there for not going. That's what happens when you have bad owners. And there are a lot of bad owners in sports. And in baseball, there are some of the worst.
Yeah. Which, interesting, we had the announcement earlier this week about the DeWitt family. And you just don't see the family ownership, certainly in baseball, as much as you once did. There's so much corporate and hedge fund and
ownership groups.
Yeah. And ours is an ownership group as well.
Right. It's a little different, though.
Yeah, it is. And the one thing that I found really interesting about that is that Bill DeWitt III's son is now working for the Cardinals, which tells you that legacy may pass down to yet another generation at some point.
Wonder what that interview process was like. DeWitt. It says here your last name is DeWitt.
You're hired.
You're in. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a and so John, you were paying attention when they changed ownership.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Or not really changed ownership, but the leadership structure changed.
Right.
Early this week.
Yeah.
And I know there's there'll be a continuation of business the way it's been done. But I think we've also seen, though, in the last year or two, things are not being done exactly the way they were 5 years ago or 10 years ago. There's a recognition that they had to change course a bit, and it appears that they've done it.
They just had to modernize. I mean, 20 years ago, we were the model franchise in baseball, and that just wasn't the case a few years ago. And we're getting back some semblance of that, I think. And I'm pretty bullish on the future for this baseball team.
You may have heard of a guy named Professor Galloway. He's got a big social media following. He does a show on YouTube. And he had some comments about what he thinks or what he hopes all the foreign visitors, what they all are going to gain by coming to the United States and what they will take away from it. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on in the show. And also, in addition to that, what some of the Europeans who have been here, what they have actually taken away from the United States as they visit for the World Cup. We'll talk about that coming up next hour. But the CEO of the Blues, Chris Zimmerman, is going to join us in just a moment. NHL Draft happens starting tonight. And we'll find out more about the figure skating championships and what they meant for St. Louis, the economic impact, all that next on KMOX.
Some shows are about sports. Some shows are about nothing. This one's kind of both.
So the show's not really a sports show per se. It's just a show. Glover here, we talk about whatever's happening, life, work, random stuff. And yeah, the Cardinals always find their way in. I'm a lifelong fan, love going to the games, love supporting the team, and love hanging out with you guys.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
Retirement planning isn't about timing the market. If it were, we'd all be retired by Tuesday. It's about timing your life, income streams, taxes, healthcare, and making sure everything works together. No guessing, no hoping, no drama. Check out the show Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg here on KMOX, Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. Let's get organized, or checkwithgary.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
71 degrees, a little light rain in the area. We are expecting storms, possibly heavy thunderstorms a little bit later on, and a flood watch is in effect until 7 tonight.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Looking for something new? Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce 2 brand new opportunities in St. Charles County. Discover Crooked Creek at Cottleville Trails, featuring stylish new townhomes from the high 300s and access to incredible amenities that make Cottleville Trails one of the area's most sought-after communities. Or find the space you've been dreaming of at South Point Estates, where expansive 3+ acre home sites and top-rated Wentzville schools create the perfect setting for your custom dream home. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more about these exciting new communities.
Get inside your Redbirds and the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It's Chris and Amy's show on KMOX, but John Hancock is in for Amy. I'm Chris Ranji, and we're happy to have you with us. Gas House Gang at 12 today. We'll talk a lot of Cardinals baseball then. And we will have Mike Claiborne and Matt Pauley on the show. But right now on the Quiver River Electric guest line, joining us is the CEO of the St. Louis Blues, Chris Zimmerman, as the NHL draft begins today. Chris, how you doing?
I am doing excellent. It's a pretty exciting day.
Yes, it is. So the draft is going to take place tonight. I know that in the war room will be Alexander Steen and Doug Armstrong, as they go through this with 4 picks tonight, 4 picks in the first round. This is a pretty unusual time for the Blues.
Well, it's an exciting time. Yes, as you said, 4 picks. That's unusual. It quite honestly, it's rare. And but Doug Armstrong and Alexander Steen, they have been really working on this certainly since the trade deadline back in early March, and accumulating additional picks, making some moves to make ourselves younger, and, sort of all the process of continuing to work to get us back into clear contention every year.
Chris, how's it going, buddy?
I am doing great, John. What a fun day it is for us.
No kidding. The 4th of those 4 first-round draft picks just arrived this week with the trade of Jordan Kyrou. I was impressed. You guys got a pretty good haul for him. Yeah, I mean, obviously Jordan's a top player, a guy who had 3 30-goal seasons. So he's an elite player, but we feel really good about Connor McMichael and the picks we got, and another young prospect who had been drafted 2nd round just last year. So, it is a time where we're getting younger, but we're getting really high quality prospects coming in. And as you can imagine, after what was disappointing year and watching our league have a great Stanley Cup playoffs, we're pretty hungry to get back to that place. All right, just us talking here, Chris. We moving some of these draft picks to go up higher in the draft?
With just us talking, we everything's on the table. Lots of possibilities.
Well,
but we need to have somebody else ready to step up as well. So, I mean, I do think if you look at the moves we've made and that Doug and Alex have made since the trade deadline, I think we're getting better with each move. So, let's see what happens.
Blues CEO Chris Zimmerman is with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. And so I know there's going to be there's a watch party for season ticket holders at Enterprise Center tonight, right?
Yes, there is. We've been doing that the last few years. I think we've got close to 500 season ticket holders that plan on attending. And, whether we make a move or just if in the end we add 4 new first round prospects, there's a lot to be excited about and to hear about and learn. Should be an exciting evening for sure.
Chris, I know that with the change in leadership here, Alexander Steen officially is taking over in about a week, a little bit less than a week. And so he is going to be part of the proceedings tonight. Doug Armstrong is going to be there. What will change with Steen taking over and how business is run in the front office?
Well, the good news, I'm going to start first with Doug Armstrong. He's not going anyplace. He continues as president of hockey operations. We've been really working on this transition for now 3 years. And I think our fans should be excited about Alex stepping in. And, it's really a matter of him, I'd say, putting some of his stamp of the kind of team he wants to build. The fact that he's close to having been on the ice, understanding players, understanding what it takes for guys to develop. I think that, I don't know, I'll say I think we got the dream team of hockey management leading this group. And, it's an important time. We don't like being where we are right now. And so I think the power of those two working together is going to, as they have been, but I think that's going to make a big difference. And I think you'll start to see subtle changes in how we prepare players, how we develop them. Not that we weren't committed and working on these things under Doug. He brought us our first Stanley Cup. I know he wants to be around for the second one as well.
Yeah, and you're talking about Alexander Steen, such a character player, great teammate, willing to play any role. I remember him accepting that fourth line position during the Cup run, and he had been a top line winger for the Blues for years. How important is that, the character of the player in building a team?
I think it's massive, and I think your point about Alex is one of the things that excites me. We're a sport where I'd like to say team and how a team blends together to become a champion. I think it's as important in our sport, I would argue it, as any other sport out there. And in the end, a lot of it is like there's lots of talent on every team, but it is how guys are able to check their ego, how they're able to understand and accept different roles that are going to maximize things for the team. And Alex, having been a real strong offensive threat and a scorer, and then ultimately in the Stanley Cup year to take that role and make a difference on the fourth line. He understands what it takes. I think I'm just going to say he is the ultimate character human being, and I think our team and the way we develop and what we expect of our players is going to reflect who Alexander Steen is.
In early January, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships happened here in St. Louis at Enterprise Center, and the report about the economic impact is out. What did we find?
Well, we found that let's start with putting people into hotel rooms that we did close to 25,000 room nights, economic impact of close to $16 million. These events deliver exactly what we told people they would do when we went to the city, went to the state to help participate in getting Enterprise back to a Tier 1 building. And so, in partnership with the St. Louis Sports Commission, which I think I like to call them the little engine that could, we put on a great event, and people responded. I think 60 to 70% of the attendees were from out of town, and the athletes, the media, the U.S. figure skating, all raved about the experience in the building, and how we, if you will, rose to the occasion to put on a world-class event.
And also, there was news recently about, we know that Arch Madness comes to St. Louis every year, and that's an event I have been going to since I was in college back in the late 90s. And now the women's tournament is coming to Enterprise Center as well, starting next year.
Yeah, so I think we may be the longest or the second longest running conference tournament in one building. The Missouri Valley Conference has been an awesome partner, and obviously women's basketball continues to grow in its popularity and its impact. So it's going to be a busy week now. Now hosting both the men's and women's tournament at Enterprise Center, but we love these events. We love to serve the people that come into our building. We love giving fans the best experience they can. And, the expansion to now include the women's tournament as well for the Missouri Valley Conference is an awesome addition.
Chris Zimmerman, CEO of the St. Louis Blues, we appreciate your time today. Thank you for jumping on the show with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Enjoy the excitement the rest of the day. Oh, hey, John, one last thing.
Yeah.
Michael Kelly's birthday today. Shout out to MSK.
All right. You are correct, sir.
We'll see you at happy hour.
All right.
That's right.
See you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. I saw Chris at the party last year.
He was there. Yeah.
And so, yeah, man, 67% of the people, so 2/3 of all the spectators for that figure skating championships came from outside the market. And Amy and I remember talking about their view of St. Louis and how we put on a show or put on an event. And, the reviews seem to be that it was done very well, which I know that we can handle it. We just need more of them.
Yeah. And that's really not an issue in St. Louis when conventions come here. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do. Our cultural institutions are, superior for a city our size. What we need, though, is we need the daily traffic downtown.
We need people to live here and work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And live, work, and play. And the play is around. There's plenty to do. But the living and working, not so much.
The difficult part for St. Louis, and really I guess it's the country, because this is not the only city in the country that has had trouble with foot traffic or people leaving the city, moving out of the city since COVID. That almost every major American city had that problem.
Yes.
Businesses leaving, because of work from home and all kinds of things. It's just, I think for St. Louis, it is an especially more difficult challenge to get people back.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And every major urban area is grappling with crime issues, as are we. There's a lot of the factors here affecting St. Louis that are not particularly unique to St. Louis. They just seem to be, maybe affecting things worse than they are in other places.
So the deal with the draft tonight,
yeah.
Since 2021, there have been only 4 teams that have picked 3 times in the first round.
Yeah.
And the Blues right now have 4.
I know.
So if they do it, that'll be extraordinary. If they keep all 4 of those draft picks, that'll be extraordinary. I don't know. I kind of have to feel like they won't. Like they're going to have to move on from at least one of them and see what you can get in return.
But to Chris Zimmerman's point, it takes 2 to tango. I know that they were talking, was it Dallas? They were talking about Robertson, and he said
everybody's interested in him, Jason Robertson.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come here. So, and I guess must have a no-trade clause. So, I mean, and increasingly in hockey seems like they just have a proliferate number of no-trade clauses compared to other sports. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it seems like there's just so many of them.
John Hancock, Chris Ranji on KMOX with you until 12 o'clock today. Amy Marks Kors is out.
She's in Topeka.
She is in Kansas. You are correct.
Yep.
Maybe as we speak, she is pulled over for gas.
Could be.
Yeah, she could be. Did you see this? John Hancock's favorite segment. And I know he's got something for me. It's coming up next on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
This is Jordan Walker. Celebrate Black Heritage Day, presented by your quality Ford dealers on Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium. This special culture and community event honors the impact, history, and legacy of the Black community in baseball and beyond. With a special themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Cardinals jersey designed by Corey Rogers. And don't miss a special heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
The weekend starts at Busch Stadium. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou. With $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From Sweet Home Alabama to Cold as Ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli tuck pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair, their crews are very polite, and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Well, John, it's time for our favorite segment of the week.
What's happening?
Oh, I know this is your favorite segment of the week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, did you see this?
Did you know about
With Chris and Amy.
All right, so it's with Chris and John today.
Yeah.
Amy is out. And first things first,
What'd you see?
We just got an update from Jade Aubrey.
Yes.
Reporter here at KMOX, who is directing folks to KMOX News on Twitter, on Instagram. If you want to see video of the new sinkhole, which is opened up right on the riverfront, and we're being told by the city that it is a water main break. There's a water main issue.
That sounds bad.
So, I mean, it's right on the river. I mean, the water is from the river is coming up to where the sinkhole is.
Yeah.
Into the sinkhole. And
it's clean water, right? Because
I don't know.
The water main is clean water. And it's mixing now with the muddy Mississippi down there.
So if you want to see St. Louis's latest sinkhole, you can find it on KMOX News on Twitter and 1041 KMOX on Instagram as well. Yeah. So I love a good sinkhole, John. You can't.
Oh, we got our fair share of them.
John, did you see that about a month ago there is a Dodgers prospect named Kendall George?
All right.
And they were playing on the road. And you know how some minor league ballparks have bat dogs?
Yes. The dog goes out and gets a bat and brings it.
Instead of a bat boy, they have a bat dog.
Right. Yeah.
So player takes a swing, drops the bat. Dog runs up and gets the bat, takes it back to the dugout.
Nice.
It's cute.
Yeah, very cute.
It's adorable. I love them. Well, this team had one, and the Dodgers prospects were visiting, and he comes back home after, I believe he scored, and he came back home, crosses the plate on the way to the dugout, and the dog startles him, and in startling him, he jumped out of the way, kind of had an outsized reaction, I think, to this little golden retriever.
Yeah.
And he injured himself.
Oh.
He hurt his leg. So he's been out for several weeks since then. Well, he's on a rehab assignment, and they are playing against a Diamondbacks affiliate called the Visalia Rawhide. And as he's at the plate, this is what they did.
Bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the 4th. 2 have scored. Here's the 2-2 to George. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a fastball. George down on strikes. We go to the bottom of the 4th.
Dude.
That's pretty funny.
I can't decide if that is terrible or funny or both.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So they're playing dog barking sounds.
Over the PA.
Over the PA.
Yeah.
As he's hitting. I can't believe they did that.
You got to love it.
That is. Should you taunt an injury like that?
Sure.
Like, I don't know.
It's an entertainment business.
Well, you don't celebrate an injury, right?
I don't know. That was pretty funny.
I think if he had just freaked out when the dog came at him and he fell down and everybody made fun of him for 3 weeks, then okay. But I don't know, man. I don't know that I'd be playing dog barking sounds after the dude injured himself.
I'm for it.
Okay. John Hancock, Chris Ranji. When we come back, We're going to talk a little footy. The Americans lost in the World Cup last night, but it does not matter because their future had already been established. They were on to the knockout round anyway. We're going to talk soccer with Jen Cease, City SC broadcaster on Y98. Jen is next on KMOX.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder. But our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 11:01, we have a little bit of light rain, 72 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. A potentially dangerous heat wave moves in this weekend. AccuWeather predicts St. Louis may rack up 8 straight days with highs at or above 90. Forecasters say it will feel like it's over 100 degrees multiple afternoons. We'll get today's forecast coming up from Heather's Air in moments. Another water main break leads to another sinkhole in St. Louis. Our Jade Aubrey went to the riverfront at the Arch, where there's a gaping hole in the pavement near the helicopter pad.
I'd say it's about 7 feet long, 5 feet wide. I can't tell how deep it is because it's completely flooded with water. What's interesting, though, is the water in the hole is a bluish, greenish, kind of an aquamarine color, whereas the water in the river is a muddy brown color. And what's interesting is you can see exactly where the water from that river stops and the water in the sinkhole begins, although some of this greenish water is flooding into the river.
You can see video of the scene on all of our social media platforms. Another section of Texas has been designated an infested zone after an animal was found to be carrying larvae of the New World screwworm. A total of 25 cases have now been detected.
State and federal agricultural officials have ordered quarantines for 9 west and southwest Texas counties as they sterilize adult flies and release them into the environment.
We've released 100 billion a week for 19 months. That's 8 billion sterile flies.
But Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller tells ABC News
the sterile flies aren't working.
He wants to add a bait and insecticide regimen to the program, something federal officials have resisted. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge rose to a new 3-year high in May as gas prices peaked. The increase largely driven by more expensive gas, as well as pricier semiconductors and other computer equipment that are in high demand for the AI build-out. Rising prices have caused the inflation fighters at the Federal Reserve to keep their key rate unchanged this year, a reversal from January when they had penciled in 2 cuts. Some economists forecast the central bank could increase rates this year instead. The back and forth continues between Illinois and Indiana over where the Bears will decide to build a new stadium, with the governor at odds over where things stand. Here's Mike Krauser.
Governor Mike Braun says there's what he called a handshake agreement with the Bears, while acknowledging during an interview with CBS 4 Indianapolis it won't be done until, quote, we ink it. Governor Pritzker and Governor Braun have differences of opinion.
I don't think Indiana is a whole heck of a lot closer than we are.
I'd say he's wrong there. I'd ask Governor Pritzker why for 5.5 years they can get anything done.
Pritzker noted the Bears are looking at combining elements of the 2 bills passed separately by the House and Senate, and he's still open to a special legislative session, but the team has work to do winning over lawmakers. A special session would not be called without an agreement. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A flood watch is in effect. We'll have showers, even a heavy thunderstorm that can bring flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging winds this afternoon. High 78. Those end tonight. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Heather Zaire on 104.1 FM KMOX.
We do have rain in the area. 73 in Florissant, 72 in St. Peter's, 72 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
For a cross, comes back to the top of the box. Now it's clipped in at the backside. Matt Turner, it's down home. Turkey score the winning goal in the 98th minute.
Well, it was not a whole lot of fun at the end there, and there was an injury too, so we'll get to the bottom of that, hopefully. Hopefully it's not too bad. It is the Chris and Amy Show, hour 3 of 3. If you're listening on the Odyssey app, you can listen live, obviously, and you can go back and get the podcast of the show later if you missed anything, like this conversation we're about to have with Jen Cease, City SC broadcaster on Y98, who joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Jen, that was a bit of a heartbreaker last night, but the good news is it didn't matter whatsoever.
No, it really doesn't. And thanks for having me on, by the way. And it was a late night. I was over at Energizer Park at the watch party, which was a great time. It's always fun to hear from Mr. Soccer Bill McDermott, Brad Davis, really giving their perspectives on knowing the game for so long, and Brad having played in a World Cup. So, yeah, ultimately at the end of the day, it's not a fun thing for the fans in the stadium, of course. It's not a fun thing to watch but there's still a lot of camaraderie. No World Cup has games like the U.S. had the first two games. We knew going in that Mauricio Pochettino was going to change things up. He was really open about that, and he did. He not only changed out 9 players, he also changed formations a little bit, probably to put a little bit more at the back, which did not work. So now he knows. He knows that some of these combination of players don't work. If they're needed in the next game, and hopefully more games after we play Bosnia, that he knows who he can look to and who he can't. For example, Sebastian Berhalter had himself a night. So there is somebody that you look at that maybe not be a starter, but maybe comes first more in the bench if you need him going forward. So a lot of lessons learned. It was still a good time. And again, we go through and we play Bosnia on July 1st.
Yeah, and Bosnia, they played here, right? They played a friendly
They
here.
did.
What do
They
we
did.
know?
They-
What do we know about that team?
Yeah, so this is their second ever trip to the World Cup. That the country is really, really excited. Our St. Louis fans really showed out. I mean, I remember a post that I reposted on Twitter X, whatever we call that app nowadays. There was a Bosnian content creator here in St. Louis, and as they were doing the anthems for both teams, he just took a picture and posted and said, "This is not Sarajevo. This is St. Louis, Missouri, USA, and Bosnia is home." And it still jerks a tear when I think of that, because it really felt like a home game for Bosnia. So yeah, they played an excellent game. Panama was an excellent opponent. They played to a tie. No surprise there. We do that a lot in soccer. Not anymore though, you guys. So when Amy Marskors comes back, tell her we can't tie anymore in the World Cup.
That's right. Knockout stage.
That's right. But Bosnia you cannot underestimate this team. They are stubborn. They are resilient. They were down against Switzerland. I think it was 3-0 by the time, and they still scored. They lost 4-1. Switzerland's a favorite, of course, but they will not stop fighting. They will not stop attacking. So you cannot go to sleep on Bosnia, because they are hot right now.
So this team, and let me get back to last night first of all, because I want to get out of the way things that happened. We are now clear with the yellow cards, right, for the knockout round.
Everything resets. So nobody is on. There were 4 players on yellow cards, and that's why you didn't see them in the lineup. And of course, Christian Pulisic, not on a yellow card, but still we'll see, make sure his calf's good. He did come in, and he looks like he's really good. So he came into the game. I think that was a good test for Pochettino to see. But yes, everybody is cleared now. Everybody has been, served their time for bad behavior. And going forward, we should see a first-team squad, of course, against Bosnia on July 1st.
And Austin Trusty in the 90th minute. I mean, they're in stoppage time, and the dude gets hurt, which was the fear. That was one of the fears of playing anybody who's important, is that they could get hurt in a game that does not matter. So what do we know about that? Because he did come back onto the field for at least a little bit after that, but he was on the ground for a while.
Yeah, he had to come back in because we were out of subs. So Austin could not come out of the game. We could have played a man down, but of course he's going to play in and try to do what he can. Wasn't enough, of course, to do the onslaught. He tells everybody in the media that he's fine. He said he thought he heard something, which that is never a good thing to say. Mm-hmm. That is not usually something when you hear it, it's not usually positive. But he's assuring the media right now and everybody else that he's okay. So hopefully that's true. He scored the first goal last night, so he was having himself a night. But just like you said, it was Christian Pulisic also took kind of a knock where he went down pretty hard. And I remember the entire Mick Ultra Club, holding their breath because it was like, oh my gosh, did we just put him in to get hurt? Fortunately, he seems okay too.
Did any country not make the knockout rounds that was a surprise?
Well, I guess what's the funny thing is that I keep thinking of Italy, but they were already not coming into the World Cup so far. They were eliminated by Bosnia, in fact. So that's a fairy tale story for itself. But as far as the knockouts go, I think we're still looking for who did or didn't make it. I think we know, Haiti, we knew wouldn't. Turkey. So Turkey, that would be the one I would think. And maybe the Czech Republic, Panama as well. Those 3 stick out to me. Turkey A, as I know now, we're saying the name. I grew up saying Turkey the whole time, so I apologize. Turkey's strong. They were the U.S.'s toughest opponent. They should have been in the group. They were higher ranked than any of the other opponents. They should have gone through. I'll tell you guys what. Somebody said something last night. I think it was Matt Rocchio from STL Sports Central, and he said that just seeing Turkey vibe, they had nothing to play for. They're done. They were the first team eliminated. So having them play the way they did just to get a goal in front of their fans, just to get a win in front of their fans when they're going home afterwards, it makes you wonder if our teams, most of the teams would play like that when they have nothing to prove other than we still can do something good and we got to go home and start again in 4 years.
So, I would think that's it because a lot of those guys, may not be on the next World Cup team, right? So they're, you're trying the best you can, and if you got nothing to play for, you might as well, right? If you're going home after it, you might as well put it all out there. Talking to Jen Cease on the Quiver River Electric guest line. So, we talked about Bosnia-Herzegovina. That is the next match happening on Wednesday. As this World Cup has gone on, is anything else really caught your attention aside from, the men's national team, the games they have played? Maybe it's something in other matches around the tournament so far, or is it off-field stuff? Because we have talked a lot about the international visitors to the U.S. and how much fun they seem to be having. What really has been, other than the men's national team, what's been the storyline most important to you?
I think the one that sticks out for me is a fairy tale story. It's Cabo Verde, or Cape Verde, as we say. Their total size is just a little bit less than our state of Wyoming. So I believe the state of Wyoming is like the least populated state we have. Their total size is less than that. I think it's 530,000. That team has just done it on and off the pitch in terms of what they've been able to do. So they went ahead and dealt with some big teams. They tied Spain 0-0. Spain, of all the teams, tied them 0-0. Their veteran goalkeeper, Vozina, blocked everything Spain gave to him, so much so that he was interviewed afterwards. He went, I believe, from, 50,000 Instagram followers to 15 million in a matter of days. So people wanted to know who this guy was. And not only that, the other story that's off the pitch is that he got emotional off camera, apparently, talking about how his mom wasn't able to come and see him play. And after that match, she was able to come and see him play. So they made that happen. So I just think that's a great on and off story there. And Cabo Verde then went on to tie Uruguay. So 2-2. They could score on these big teams. They were able to show that we belong here and it wasn't just a fluke. So for me, that is like the fairy tale. Cabo Verde is somebody that I haven't said that name very much, but I'll be paying attention to them going forward.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thinking about this U.S. men's team, is this the best team we've had in a couple of decades?
Yeah, I would think so. Tim Ream talked with us in the media a couple days ago. It was great to have access to him, especially the St. Louis media were on the Zoom call in full, so that was great to see. But yeah, I think he said it, and Brad Davis said it watching the team last night, and just said there's something different. Even when they weren't playing their best last night, he's like, there's something different about this squad. So I do think every once in a while you guys probably see it also in other sports as well. You just get that magic roster that clicks, that works together. I know it didn't come together last night, but the rosters that worked in the first two team games, they are believing. They're buying into Mauricio Pochettino's. He's not coaching them to survive, which is typically what the United States does. You get to the World Cup, won, and then you try to survive as long as you can. And we've been doing that for, years. He's trying to say, no more surviving. Who's to say we can't do this? I do believe I heard that he really became enthralled with the Miracle on Ice story of the United States, the hockey team, and that he really wanted to make that a kind of central theme for the Team USA Soccer. And it seems like the guys are buying in.
So the team to you looks at least as good as you thought they would look.
Yeah, they do. They actually look better. Honestly, they look better, especially when we had Folarin Balogun up top. Boy, I know we had to rest him, and it's the right thing to do to get these main guys. If you're going to go deep in the World Cup, you're not going to get much rest. You're not going to do what Mauricio Pochettino did last night. You're going to play whoever's going to work, and however tired they are, too bad. But to be able to get the guys who did not play last night, like a good 12 days rest before they have to, pitch up against Bosnia, which is a really high energy team. And those guys don't seem to run out of any energy at all. I do think this U.S. team is something that we haven't seen. I don't think I've really been able to see much of that in my lifetime. They haven't come along, and I think somewhere between Poch's coaching, the way he likes to run the game, and he's come into a team and basically also said, much to the dismay of St. Louis fans, Josh Sargent did not make the squad. That is somebody that we expected to make the squad, and Poch came in and said, hey, I don't have any, duty to uphold anything you guys did before. I'm going to come in and do it my way. He's doing it his way, and it seems to work, and they look good.
Okay, so last thing, that they have played all these group games, and there's about a week in between all of them, I guess, right? Yeah, about a week's worth of time in between all the matches. And now that shortens up a little bit here. Do you believe in the idea of any sort of, momentum from game to game because there's so much time off, or the style of play they used the last night and how it sets them up for Wednesday, or does that not really matter?
I don't think this one matters. And it's funny that you say that because I also get asked that about St. Louis City SC, right? Who, before the MLS break for the World Cup, they were trending in the right direction.
Yeah. And now they got like a month and a half off.
Yeah, they got a ton of, well, apparently not as much time as we think. I talked to Simon Betcher and Chris Durkin last night who were there, and they've been doing 2-a-days. So he said, we got about 6 days to kind of take time with our families, but the message was clear. Come in fit. Don't come in to get fit. You come back here fitter than you were before, and we're going to test that. And Yohan Demey's been doing that. So on the U.S. side, I don't think we're not going to see the 4-back that Mauricio Pochettino used. He's going to go back to the formation he was using before. I think I know it was disappointing for fans. I didn't like seeing it either, but I think it was smart of him to make sure nobody else got a yellow card that would have eliminated them from the first knockout game, and then to make sure that guys are rested and ready to go. I think, if anything, they're going to pick up from the first and second games and move forward and try to take it to Bosnia.
Jen, we appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
City SC broadcaster on Y98, Jen Cease with us. And yeah, City SC will get back at it about the middle of next month. So it's going to be some time before our boys here will get back on the pitch. I mean, they're practicing or training. Is that what they say? They're training. But they won't play a game until late next month. So it's going to be some time. Yeah, that's right. John Hancock, Chris Ranji, Craig Mish covers the Marlins, and he'll talk to us at 11:30. We're with you until 12 on KMOX.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Brian Adams is bringing the Roll with a Punches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Brian Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Brian Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Girardo. Brian Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
73 degrees, a little bit of rain out there, and it is humid. It's going to be humid for the rest of the evening. And then don't forget, we've got some hot weather coming up here in the next few days. Expecting some thunderstorms and showers later on, and a flood watch is in effect until 7 o'clock tonight.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. But our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com. and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Taking care of yourself should fit into your life, not complicated. Neovitin Original Formula is a complete daily multivitamin designed to support your everyday wellness routine with essential vitamins, minerals, and a natural ingredient blend, all in just 2 daily tablets. Subscribe online at neovitin.com for monthly delivery or shop Neovitin at your local Schnucks and Dearborn. Neovitin Original Formula is physician formulated to fit easily into your everyday routine. All of our vitamins are manufactured in a certified GMP facility in the USA. Neovitin, make nutrition easy.
Retirement. Exciting in one way, scary in others. How do you find the financial advisor that covers all the bases? Join Greg Ayler Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
As Michael Kelly pointed out to us in the office earlier today, on his birthday, today's his birthday.
It is.
Today is 62626.
Yes, a palindrome.
62626.
Yep.
These are fun days.
They are. Don't happen very often.
So what also doesn't happen very often is the World Cup coming to the United States. And it is here, and it seems to be going very well as far as the... Forget about FIFA and all of the, requirements and constraints they put on these host cities and the amount of money they take away, but the cities don't see. Forget about all that stuff. As for the competition, it's all been a whole lot of fun. And as for, when you get the real people involved, and the real people, the fans who are coming in from all over the world are really seeming to enjoy themselves. Professor Scott Galloway, he's got a pretty big podcast following. You've seen him do interviews on all kinds of networks, and he's a professor and an author, and he talks a lot about the state of the country and where we are, and his philosophies about young men and the struggles that they have, and what he's one of the people, by the way, John, who thinks that younger folks need to drink more. And it's not about the alcohol. It's about getting out and socializing, because we're losing that. And younger people are more isolated, and they're not doing those kinds of things. It's true. And so he does think that's a greater problem for society. But he pays attention to a lot of what's going on in the country. And he had these thoughts on what he hopes happens with all of these international travelers coming to the United States and potentially experiencing it for the first time.
I hope the people that come to America realize that regardless of the political party in power, Americans are a generous, kind, good people. And I hope American kids see just how amazing diversity is, just how wonderful it is to appreciate different cultures and the opportunity to go to another culture. The American exceptionalism is good in many ways, but it also can lead down to a dark path, believing that we're better than other nations. And I think when you see these teams and just how wonderful they are and how talented they are and how wonderful their fans are, I hope that American youth takes from it, God, we've got to figure out a way to get along with these people and be generous towards them.
Amen, Scott Galloway.
So that to me, I think he nailed it. You know, that's exactly right. And I know there's this thought out there that diversity is not a strength for us, and I completely disagree with that. Because if we do have a variance of ideas or ways of doing things, it helps us reach a better place.
I mean,
you know, it's kind of like
it's what made the country.
It's exactly what made the country, and it's kind of like, think about it on a much smaller scale. Think about your baseball team, and if your baseball team, the Cardinals, if all they ever did was hire former Cardinals, just guys who have played in the organization, who know the organization, you wouldn't have a very good organization. You need people who have been somewhere else, who see how it's done in other places, so that there are different ideas. And then you can hopefully reach the best ideas and use those. And I think on a larger scale, the country is exactly the same, and that's how we should view it.
Yeah, and you know, it is. We are an amalgamation. I mean, what makes America so great is that we're an amalgamation of the world. The world has located itself here, and there's a richness to that. There's a intellectual benefit to that. Certainly an economic benefit to that. And so I think his point was well taken.
Yeah, and I think you do. I know that one of the things that has been said is we're not getting other countries' best people. And I just don't agree with that. I think the vast majority of the folks who try to come here and live here, they're escaping worse situations.
Sure.
And they are trying to do better by their families, which means they're coming here to work hard. They're coming here to contribute. I don't agree with the idea. Yeah, maybe some scumbags find their way in, but we have local scumbags too. There are bad people in every form of everything.
Yeah.
Every profession, every culture, every society, every city, every rural area. There are bad people everywhere.
It is true.
And I think the vast majority of people who try to come here really actually want to do well. And they want to contribute.
Well, that's right. And when they do better, we do better.
And you're right about the economic impact.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And I think we're going to pay some prices for the number of deportations that have taken place under this regime. You know, I was all in favor of getting rid of criminals.
Absolutely.
You know, but
if you're a violent criminal, yes, absolutely. We don't need that.
But the way we proceeded with this thing has been, in the long term, not helpful for America.
And then we're going to be, as you said, feeling the effects of it for a long time to come. And hopefully we can restore that sentiment that people had of us, of Americans, outsiders had of us for a long time, which I think has been diminished a bit. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk to Craig Mish, Miami Marlins pre-post game on Marlins TV, host on Sports Grid, and he was at the Marlins games these past several days as the Tartan Army came through, and they just made Marlins Stadium their home, and it was a lot of fun. We'll talk to Craig as the Marlins are actually scheduled to play the Cardinals tonight at Busch Stadium. Craig Mish is next on KMOX.
Here's a World Soccer Championship preview.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Australia and Paraguay both have lots to play for in their final group stage match in Santa Clara. Both have an opportunity to finish second in Group D, which could produce a more favorable knockout round matchup. Paraguay will be shorthanded due to a red card in their last match. Australia looks to build off a decent second half against the USA. I'm Mike Conti.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
73 degrees and cloudy in St. Louis, expecting rain, thunderstorms later on, and a flood watch is in effect until 7.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account. When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything. Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, Skin Cancer Awareness this summertime, and we're joined by Dr. Aubriana McAvoy, a WashU medicine surgeon.
So I think most importantly, don't ignore a spot that's changing because early detection can save lives, and a quick skin check today could prevent a much bigger problem down the road.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
When someone tells me, Gary, I just want to feel calm about this, I usually say, good, that's fixable. Because calm doesn't come from watching the stock markets, it comes from having a plan. Let's build one together. Visit my website, checkwithgary.com, or call 800-966-1690. My show, Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, here on KMOX FM 104.1.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, this is Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes, and this is it. Make no mistake, this is your last chance to live in Inverness at Bryan and Feisey Road. Save over $30,000 on one of our 2 remaining market-ready homes, and also special 4.75% financing for qualified buyers. Inverness is a beautiful community with trails, lakes, and a beautiful gazebo. Visit McKelveyHomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
Today,
the Cards, the Marlins.
Emlyn Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Cardinals and Marlins scheduled to play tonight, the beginning of a series at Busch Stadium. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. And we are now joined by the pre- and post-game host on Marlins TV and host on Sports Grid, Craig Mish, who also covers Major League Baseball, has been doing it for a long time. He is fantastic, and he joins us now on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Craig. How are you?
Good morning. Great to be on with you guys, as always.
So we are looking forward to the series at Busch Stadium. Well, we'll get to the baseball in a minute, but I want to get to the Tartan Army that came through the Scottish folks at the Marlins Stadium, and they were loud, much like they were in Boston over last week, and gained a whole lot of attention. What was it like to have them there in that building? Because it sounded like a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was quite the atmosphere before the game and throughout the game to see fans there who basically, didn't know much about baseball but know how to have a good time. And I think that's kind of my biggest takeaway there was just a lot of pregame and a lot of screaming and yelling, throughout the game. And it, some people compared it to like the World Baseball Classic a little bit, but with, another team rooting for another country, which Scotland was, of course, rooting for the Marlins in that spot. So you're right. It was a lot of fun. And, we don't get it that often, guys, as especially on a Monday night in Miami. Like that's really the big takeaway here is usually those weekday nights don't produce the biggest crowds, but almost 20,000 in the house for Monday night. It was definitely a sight to see.
Yeah, and I saw that some of the players, which I mean, you can imagine, much like here with the whole tarps off thing that started a month or so ago,
right?
And the players fed off that. That was even louder. What was going on with the Scottish fans? So they must have loved every second of that.
Yeah, they mentioned that they would be rooting for Scotland on Wednesday when they played here against Brazil. Unfortunately, it did not go very well for Scotland in that match, and they've been eliminated from the World Cup. But yeah, I think that what they have is they've found fans now of some baseball players who basically appreciated the support. The pitcher at the time, Tyler Phillips, who I believe you guys are going to see this week, he was saying that, hey, if I ever see any of these guys on the side of the road, I'm pulling over and seeing if I can help them out at all. Like they were really enthusiastic and appreciated the support.
Well, that's pretty cool. And what also is pretty cool is your Miami Marlins surpassing expectations so far, almost halfway through the season.
Yeah, it's been quite the surprise, kind of like the Cardinals in a way, too. I mean, who would have had this series being like a potential wild card 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, depending on how things work out. But yeah, it's been a fantastic run for Miami here in June. They have the best record in baseball. They're definitely playing like it too. Number 1 ERA, I believe, out of their pitchers in baseball as well in this month. And so they don't really do it a lot with the long ball, but even this past week at home, they've been hitting a lot of home runs too. So it's just a testament to them keep grinding, keep working hard, and they've really bought into that. A lot of stolen bases and, manufacturing runs. And yeah, it's been, I mean, I think not a huge surprise because I think most prognostications had them somewhere close to 500, but for them to be a few games over, definitely a great start for them.
Yeah, and you think about constructing a ball club, and you want to be strong up the middle. And your middle infielders, talking about Liam Hicks and Otto Lopez, are exceptional ball players, and they're having great seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier Edwards plays second. Otto Lopez plays short. Liam Hicks has played some catcher, played some first base. Hicks is on the injured list, but you're right. Those two guys in the middle have been fantastic. There was a point where I thought that maybe both of them would be all-stars, but Edwards fell back a little bit. He got hot toward the end of the last homestand, but Otto Lopez has been not just an all-star. He's been one of the very best players in baseball and WAR and everything else, and so it's been a breakout year for him. Miami got him for absolutely nothing, basically, just a bag of balls, and he turns out to be an elite player in the big leagues. You don't see that happen that often.
We are talking to Craig Mish, who joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line, covers the Marlins. And as you mentioned, this has been a bit of a surprising season. We're not halfway through yet. We're getting very close to the halfway point. But the Cardinals, who were in that first wild card for several days, they now find themselves in the third wild card. It's the Phillies, Cubs, Cardinals. Then the Padres are a half game out, and Miami is just a game and a half behind St. Louis at this moment. How do you see this wild card race playing out as we get deeper into the season?
It does feel at this point that the teams that get the most aggressive at the deadline are going to be the ones that push over the top just because they're all bunched up so close. And I just don't see a ton of difference between those teams that you mentioned. It feels like San Diego has taken a step back, so they're more along the lines of an 80 to 90 win team. You mentioned the Cardinals. To me, it's a huge shock. I saw them play in spring training and thought, oh my gosh, like this is the year that they're going to lose 90. And man, it has been completely the opposite of that. It just goes to show spring training means nothing. And then, and you mentioned Miami too. So I don't know how this is going to turn out, and I don't know which executive decides to get uber aggressive. Knowing the history of the way that the Rays sort of operated, and you have former executives in St. Louis and Miami, they tend to not get all that aggressive at the deadline. So I'm just not really sure, to be honest, how this is all going to work out. Padres, on the other hand, have never made a trade, met a trade that they don't like. A.J. Preller is going to get aggressive there. So hard question to answer, but to handicap it, I think they're all about the same.
So this not young anymore, 27-year-old pitcher Max Meyer has really come into his own this year. What's the secret to his success?
Just getting older, maturing, knowing how to pitch through tough innings in the big leagues. I think that's kind of been it. Guys get on. He doesn't implode. He finds a way to work out of damage. Early parts of the games sometime have been a bit of a struggle for him. You look at the numbers, you'd say how that's possible. It's like the only time in the games, the first or second inning, is when he sort of had to labor through a little bit. But beyond that, his off-speed pitches have been fantastic. He still throws a heavy fastball. And, I think just getting older, being more mature, not letting things and innings turn into, 2-hit innings into 5-hit innings, I think has really been the difference for him. And quite frankly, you look at the wins and losses, a lot of that is obviously run support because, in the big leagues, your ERA could be 2 and you could have 1 win, but they have scored a lot of runs for him when he's pitched.
I want to get back to where we are in terms of I guess you can call it a playoff race, or it's close to it. Maybe it's more appropriate to say that in the final month or two of the season. But, we are paying attention to where all these teams are. And, of course, the trade deadline is coming up. It's a little over a month away. And for St. Louis in particular, I'm not exactly sure how they're going to approach it because this has been a surprisingly good season for them. How do you think they will end up approaching this deadline, knowing that they've got a new front office with a plan for the future?
Yeah, I saw Heimblum's comments less than a month ago, I think it was, where he said that he's not going to ignore the standings. And I think that that's a fair statement, but I would be very surprised, and I know it pains probably Cardinals fans to hear that, but I'd be very surprised if they were going to do a 180 and then start trading all the guys that they acquired when they moved all those players in the offseason, like Brendan Donovan. And, I just don't see it. I see the Cardinals sort of standing pat. If they can do something, maybe to get an expiring contract on a 1-year deal or somewhere along those lines, and maybe that's a trade that they could potentially make because obviously they could take on a little salary here. But for them to make any massive moves, I don't know. I don't see it. I see it as a surprising season that everyone is waiting for the shoe to drop, and it just hasn't. 81 games in.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. I'll tell you, sitting here, the Marlins. You guys are coming right along as a ball club. What would you say the weaknesses? What needs to be strengthened on the Marlins team?
Yeah, it's very obvious. They don't hit home runs. They're near the bottom in the league, both leagues, in home runs. I know that lately the month of June has been kind to them, but they generally don't slug. A lot of it is station to station. A lot of it is stealing bases. Otto Lopez, who, as I mentioned, is a great player, and he leads the league in hits. He also leads the league in infield hits, too. And it's just kind of the way that they operate is they get on, they steal second, they steal third, they pinch run, they bunt. And so I think that that's a recipe for the regular season. I'm not sure that's a recipe for the postseason. If we've seen, the pitching gets tougher, you have to hit a home run. So they really could use a power third baseman. That would be something. And they also could use maybe another right-handed bat in their lineup. Their pitching seems to be fine. They've suffered through a couple of injuries, but their bullpen has been outstanding. But they'll get those pitchers back. They'll figure out a way, I think, to pitch through games. Miami's always done that. But slug, that'd be the easy answer there.
All right, Craig, we know that we are on the way toward a shutdown, a probable lockout in Major League Baseball with the CBA expiring in December. Yesterday, MLB, very publicly, they put out what their proposal was and what they wanted to do, and they're talking about a hard cap and a hard salary floor. And the union responded with, no, basically, absolutely not. And it's striking to me that we're here at the end of June, and they are already doing this in public. So what did you take from what MLB said, what their proposal was, and how the players' union responded?
I think all these things that they're talking about are appetizers. The main course is the cap and the floor. And I think that if that gets done, I think everything else can get worked out. I think that some of the proposals can be extended 5 years, 6 years, what they talked about in free agency. Maybe that turns out to be a 6 and a 7 in the end. maybe the cap goes higher, maybe the floor comes up. All of this is posturing, and so June stuff doesn't really worry me. Of course, I have the same concerns as far as, getting something done maybe before December. I don't know, how that factors into next year, January and February, but it does seem to me that this is all predicated on changing the structure of the salary cap and the salaries themselves. So when I see all that other stuff, the thing that just gets me is that nothing really happens within those little appetizers until they get to the meal. If they agree somehow, and I don't know that they will, to a cap and a floor, guys, I just think all that other stuff gets worked out. I don't think that, regardless of what you're seeing in the back and forth, I don't think it really makes all that difference because those things can be adjusted. But it seems like that line in the sand is on that. And quite frankly, I'm at the point where I've, for 30 years probably doing this, supported the players. I have. And I've always felt strongly that they should never be capped and be able to earn whatever they want. But that structure that they're proposing works in the other sports. And to hear the players say it doesn't, I'm just not following. I don't understand. Like, I see Oklahoma City winning NBA championships. And I see the Green Bay Packers with, 100,000 people living in their city competing for the playoffs every year. You have 10, 15 teams that just can't in this structure in baseball. So until that gets fixed, I don't know where else there is to go.
I know one of the counter arguments is, well, look at the bottom 7 payrolls, and 3 of those teams are right now in playoff position or are knocking on the door of the playoffs. So like the Cardinals and the Nationals and the White Sox are in first place in their division. You got Tampa there and Cleveland and Miami. I mean, I said 3 of 4. It's most of them. Most of those teams are competitive right now. And that's what the union says. Do you think that holds any water?
No, because they don't win the World Series ever. Ever.
Okay.
As in ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, Cleveland is a very well-run organization. They're fantastic in player development. So is Milwaukee. But when you get to the postseason, the teams that spend the most money are going to win. That's it. I mean, because they're able to just stack on in August, and it's going to happen again. I mean, one of the highest payroll teams in baseball is going to end up with Scooble, whether it's the Dodgers or somebody else. It happens every year. And, yeah, I mean, it's great to have that competitive balance during the regular season. Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken, in the last 20 years has the very best win-loss record in the regular season in baseball. But they've won nothing, and they've only been in one World Series, I believe. So, yeah, like I think it's fine over 162, but we're not talking about championships, or let's just even say playing for championships. It doesn't exist in this payroll structure.
And I guess last thing is, one other argument that I hear a lot is, well, you just have too many owners at the bottom who refuse to spend any of their money, and that's why. It's not that they don't have it, it's that they refuse to spend it. Do you think that is valid or no?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, it's hard-pressed for me to say to an owner that you're supposed to put your own money in if you're losing money every single season. And so the counter to that, guys, is that they say, well, wait a second, these teams are being sold for billions of dollars in the end. Yes, that's true. And that's when they're making money, is when they sell. But the operating costs are not the same as selling your house. And so when you sell your team, that's when they cash out and they make, I don't know what it is. It depends on the team, like the Padres, the money that they sell. But there's still operating costs involved. And if your revenue that comes in doesn't meet the operating costs, you're losing money every year until you do that. So I don't know what it's like to feel in that seat, but I certainly, in my life, don't want to lose money every single year. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to wait until I sell the team to cash in on it. I'd like to operate on a profit somehow. And I just don't think that those clubs that you're talking about at the bottom are operating at a profit. But the flip side to that, as you mentioned, no question, when they sell the clubs, that's when the big money comes in.
That is exactly right. Everybody will make a killing on their investment. Craig Mish, Marlins pre- and post-game on Marlins TV and host on Sports Grid. We always love talking baseball with you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That is Craig Mish on the Quiver River Electric guest line. John Hancock's going to go away now. It'll be you and me for a little bit longer, then the Gas House Gang at 12, talking Cardinals, baseball, and more. That's what happens then on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With summer here and the kids home full time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
The cookie cutter approach works well if you're making cookies, but not so well when you're trying to plan for retirement. If you want a customized income strategy, call Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group today. 636-230-8824. Or go to yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Looking for something new? Lombardo Homes is excited to introduce 2 brand new opportunities in St. Charles County. Discover Crooked Creek at Cottleville Trails, featuring stylish new townhomes from the high 300s and access to incredible amenities that make Cottleville Trails one of the area's most sought-after communities. Or find the space you've been dreaming of at South Point Estates, where expansive 3+ acre home sites and top-rated Wentzville schools create the perfect setting for your custom dream home. Visit LombardoHomes.com to learn more about these exciting new communities.
Fresh paint inside, fresh flowers outside. Summer at your house is looking good. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, buy one, get one free. Select interior paint via mail-in rebate. Plus, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details and requirements. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
While the world watches the stars at the FIFA World Cup this summer, Hyundai has its eyes on the next generation of talent. The future stars who are already turning heads at age 14. Because next doesn't wait for an invitation. And neither do we. Hyundai has always moved the future within reach. We did it when we made advanced safety standard on every vehicle and engineered EVs with ultra-fast charging capability. Because the future isn't some far-off concept. It's already here. Next starts now. Hyundai, an official partner of FIFA.
Freedom 250. Join the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America July 1st through July 7th across St. Louis as we celebrate America's 250-year legacy with free concerts. No tickets required. Details at afbandtix.org. That's afbandtix.org.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett. I'm a board-certified master arborist, and I've been caring for St. Louis trees for over 25 years. Today, I'm going to help you choose a tree care contractor. Here's how it's done, so pay close attention. First, call everyone you know who has ever done any type of outdoor work, including that cousin that used to sleep on your couch. Leave them all messages and wait around to see if they call back. Here's a hint, they won't. Now, post to all your social media that you are looking for recommendations for a good tree service. Now, beware because there will be hundreds of different recommendations. So you need to carefully go through each one, checking that they have the proper insurance, background checks, and even the slightest idea of what they're doing. Schedule a bunch of appointments, and when nobody shows up, get really frustrated and put the whole project off for another year. Or you could just call Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, it sure does appear that there is one great success in the U.S. when it comes to the World Cup. There have been a lot of them, but here is a great success. Apparently, ranch dressing is the winner. And this is a social media account, guy named DeAndre McKenzie, and he's interviewing a German soccer fan about that very thing.
What do you think you'll take away from your visit here in the United States, back to Germany?
Ranch. I love ranch. I tasted here and it's delicious. And I take 2 bottles with home with me.
So the Europeans, they are loving ranch dressing. And I don't think it's just the Europeans. It seems like it is very universally loved.
I love ranch.
I thought for sure that some of these folks had experienced ranch dressing, but I guess not. And here's the good news for them. UPS is offering a 20% coupon for Ship and Dip. It's a promotion that you can send ranch dressing back to your home country without having to pack it into your bag. And TSA doesn't really want you to do that. And you certainly can't take it carry-on. So if you are heading back to Germany or wherever you're going, you can take that UPS offer. 20% off. That's not bad. Hope you had a great day today with us on the Chris and Amy Show. Thanks to John Hancock for hanging out, Matt Pajeski for producing the show, Frank Ladd for producing as well. Coming up next, it is the Gas House Gang. Mike Claiborne, Matt Pauley, and me. We'll talk to Bob Nightingale. We'll talk to Scott Spezio. Gas House Gang is next. Everything you missed is on KMOX.com or the free Odyssey app.
MANTIQUAC.
Nope.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial. We are living longer. Your retirement plan needs to keep up.
Retirement that could last as long as their working years.
Sandy Brager at Esperient in San Francisco says you should imagine your life after retirement, which can be difficult.
But it's important exercise.